Hello, beautiful soul. I want to name something today that many spiritually conscious, self aware people carry, but rarely say out loud. It's a subtle feeling of needing to get somewhere. Can you relate to this? It can feel like something hasn't quite resolved yet. It can feel like the next chapter can't fully begin, or that no matter how much you accomplish, there's always a subtle feeling of it's not enough. If you felt this, I want you to know that this doesn't mean that you're behind, and it doesn't mean that you're not grateful enough or that you're lacking some mystery contentment gene. What this experience means is that you are awake to the nature of being a soul in a human body. So, I've worked with thousands of conscious, heart centered women and leaders who are wired to make a difference, and people who've done the inner work. They go deeper into the healing, the growth, and they still can feel this quiet inner incompleteness. If you're watching this, I know that you can relate to this too. So, this message was recently shared in one of my live subscriber calls, what I call the living room. And I wanted to share it here because it speaks to something that's fundamental about how we are actually designed to experience life in the sandbox of time and space. And if we don't understand this, we can spend a lot of time trying to fix something that was never broken. If this is new for you, notice what resonates. And if you were present for my live subscriber community call, let this give you added depth. Now, let's unpack what's actually happening here. There's a specific kind of dissatisfaction, one that shows up for evolved souls. It's not the restless kind that craves external attention or the need to prove or more achievement. It's a quieter kind of dissatisfaction, one that feels like there's something missing, even though I've accomplished so much and I don't know quite what it is. It can feel unsettling, like you aren't there yet. Or maybe you tell yourself that once this one little piece clicks into place, then I can finally breathe, or I can finally live or be happy. From the human perspective, it can feel like waiting to arrive. From the soul's perspective, it's something else entirely. Because this sensation isn't a flaw in your process, it's what happens when consciousness becomes aware of itself inside space and time. Here's the realization that changes everything. Completion is not the nature of consciousness. It's the nature of objects. And as you know, you are not an object. You are not a project. You are a living field of consciousness. Think of an unfinished symphony. Some movements resolve beautifully, others intentionally do not. Not because something went wrong, but because the music is still alive and unfolding. Let's repeat this liberating spiritual and quantum truth. You are not a project or a problem to solve. You are a living field of consciousness. When we forget this, we start treating ourselves like we need to be completed or fixed or figured out in order to rest or to be ready for something other than the current moment. But life was never asking that of you. So here's where we can get stuck inside a perpetual loop of thinking that there's something wrong because of this subtle feeling of dissatisfaction. It's when we try to create the next chapter from escape energy. It looks like leaving roles or identities or seasons without the inner completion, hoping the new scenery will finally bring relief. This creates patterns of thinking, this isn't it. I'm not there yet. There's something missing. There must be something wrong with me. I need to get somewhere else. I'm not quite ready yet. Or once this one thing is solved, then I can be content or happy or satisfied, etc. But here's the distinction that most people miss. Life doesn't respond to intention alone. It responds to orientation, to how you are seeing yourself and life. So when inner peace is postponed, life keeps circling the same lesson over and over again, not to punish you, not for some karmic reason, but to invite coherence. So here's what completion actually is. Completion isn't about finishing the story. It's about freeing attention. An unconscious pattern is complete when it no longer has authority over you, when it doesn't organize your choices, when it doesn't shape your sense of self or keep pulling you into a counterproductive story. And here's a truth that often brings relief. Some patterns don't continue because they're unresolved. They continue because we keep believing that they're necessary for our growth. Said another way, sometimes things don't change because we assume they're meant to stay, or we think that we need to understand why they are here before we can move on. So let's not bypass this part. Being human is dense. Time is real here. Emotion has weight. Uncertainty is actually built into the experience. And the belief that says, if I were somehow more evolved or more conscious, this wouldn't feel this way. Well, that can create more suffering than the experience itself. So here's a soul truth worth remembering. Souls enter bodies to experience limitation, not to escape it. Why? Well, because the experience of limitation is what gives presence a shape, choice its meaning, and love its depth. Often what we feel as restlessness or the pull towards something more is not a flaw that needs to be fixed. It's actually divine dissatisfaction, the soul's gentle impulse to participate more fully in life. So inner peace and the ability to rest doesn't come from completing everything or from completing every open symphony. It comes from ending the argument with where you are. When you stop treating yourself or the current moment as a problem to solve, life stops repeating itself because you are no longer resisting the very experience that you came here to have. Another way to say this, life repeats what we refuse to make peace with. You are not here to finish yourself or to prove yourself worthy. You are here to play, to live unfinished, with presence, with self-love, and nobility. As an eternal self, there will always be something else to explore, to learn, and create. This isn't a problem to solve. As my spirit guides like to say, you are not broken. You are evolving. So let this be an invitation to make peace with what is as you eagerly embrace that evolutionary impulse toward more. It is what puts life into aliveness. If this video message speaks to you, I also host live interactive conversations for spiritually conscious women inside my email subscriber community. It's where we explore these ideas in real time through thoughtful inquiry, shared insights, and lived experiences. So you'll find that link in the description box below. And if this video offered you a more beautiful way to navigate daily life in the sandbox of time and space, you can subscribe to my YouTube channel here as well. Bye for now. I'll see you in the next video.